Hello again, this is Matt Musil along with Daniel Gotera.
Yes, sir.
We just got out of the locker room, and before that we talked to Lovie Smith. Lovie made it clear Justin Britt out for the Denver game for personal reasons. He said he would let us know a little later, whenever that will be, what Justin Britt's situation is. That's the big takeaway from Friday at practice. Justin Britt out. He wouldn't even name his replacement. We expect it to be Scott Quesenberry,
Yep.
but we'll find out like everyone else on Sunday. And the other thing is Dameon Pierce. Lovie made it clear Wednesday, Dameon Pierce, by gosh, is going to get more touches. And Damien's excited about that when we were over talking to him.
Yeah, for sure. I think the biggest thing this week is the Texans know they did some good things against the Colts, right?
Yeah,
I mean, they did a lot of good things to build a 20-3 lead. They did better than expected things, to be honest with you. They just didn't finish. And, guys like John Grenard, Laramie Tunsil, those guys that's all they were harping on, especially today. And all this week, guys are like, yeah, we just got to keep doing what we were doing for 2 quarters and then just finish in the fourth. Now, going to Denver, totally different atmosphere. They're pretty, as you say, hacked off after what happened on Monday Night Football. 2 coaches that have made questionable decisions after their week 1. Not as questionable as Denver's in Lovie's case, but I think it's going to be a big challenge, right, for the Texans to go up there. I thought going into this season, I thought the game at Chicago was one that they would win, but not the one at Denver. I think that's a tough atmosphere. It's Russell Wilson's first game, but you mentioned Dameon Pierce. If they can run the ball, take that crowd out, control the clock a little bit, maybe they're going to have some success. Apparently that truck didn't like what I just had to say. But yeah, so I think overall, I think it's going to be a tough game.
Let's hear what Dameon Pierce and the other guys had to say on Friday in the Texans locker room.
Well, I think most coaches say every second is kind of sacred a little bit, but through the preseason, that's why I love going on the road in the preseason. You get a chance to kind of go over your on-the-road routine. Now, preseason-wise, it's at night, which is a little bit different, but we have a plan, and pretty much what we do Saturday night is the same, whether you're at home or away. And when we play an afternoon game, that's an opportunity for the guys to get rest as much as anything. I'm talking Sunday morning, that we're playing a little bit late on in the afternoon.
Yeah, of course. That's something I'm always constantly building on, especially with Coach DB. Even at practice, when I'm not doing anything, he takes me to the side, whether it's catching, whether it's steps, whether it's pass protection. He sent me down to the O-line. We're going through how they thinking in their mind, so we can think faster, and be better as a unit. The best thing for me to do is embrace those challenges, and go with them with a full head of steam. And I know I got guys behind me who will support me if I ever fall off.
Maybe when you say slow down, what are you talking about? Because I'm sure it's slowed
like
early,
patience.
but then bust through.
Yeah. Like, as a running back, you gotta have a bit of patience. And I feel like I was just too fast last game. And DB, he echoed that. And that's one thing we worked on. That's one thing we put emphasis on this week.
All right, just got to stick to the plan, stick with what we do, what we know, and just be relentless in our attack. Just keep them bottled up and make it uncomfortable for them. So, like I said, we won't change anything up, just going to keep rushing. That's the thing about the NFL, we get to prove ourselves every week, win or loss, so or tie. So at this point, we're just trying to continue to have that mentality, have that chip on our shoulder, continue to establish the identity and understand that and try to put ourselves in a great situation moving forward.
That's part of being in the NFL, man. You got to come out, you got to finish the game. But what impressed me about the defense is the defensive front with Bradley Chubb and Gregory and DJ Jones, 2 or 4 eyes and the linebackers. They have a very impressive defense, and I love that defensive front, all effort. Pretty good guys. They paid the 2 DNs to rush the passer, and that's what they're good at.
It's always good to establish a run on the road because it's loud, crowd noise, we're going silent cadence all game. So it's tough, to just go out there and just throw the ball all game. So you establish the running game, slows down those guys on the edge. So it'll help for us because we had to pass the ball all night. It makes it a lot tougher. So we can establish the run game early, get those guys to slow up a little bit. It should be pretty good for the offense.
These guys are on Team Lovie, no doubt about it. I always say I'm on Team Lovie no matter what the calls they are. But you look at these matchups, I'm concerned that young secondary that we saw so many positive signs from in the opener, but they weren't perfect back there for sure. I'm concerned if that front 7 doesn't get a push, oh my goodness, Russell Wilson will pick that secondary apart.
Yeah, it's totally different in the road, right? And once they get a little bit of momentum, they can run the football too. This is a pretty solid team. And I think they're going to have trouble on the back end. Jerry Jeudy had a nice game. He had that big touchdown, which I'm sure these DBs for the Texans were looking at, and they got a lot of other weapons too. It'll be a tough assignment, but I think for the Texans, it's all goes on the offensive side. Before we went to the soundbites, I said they got to run the ball. Got to run the ball, got to control the clock. That offensive line without Justin Britt, we'll see how it kind of meshes. Maybe the communication is better. That was one of the things that they harped on, right? Last time after the Colts game, there was some communication breakdowns. We saw Seth talk about that on Sports Extra last week. But if they can run the ball, get Dameon Pierce going, maybe this is a game that he breaks out a little bit and open up the play action. It's like football 101 when you go on the road. But that's what they're going to have to do, and they know that. And I just think it's going to be a tough ask, especially for some of those young players that are going to be put on islands defensively. That front seven, that experience that they have in the front seven, Jerry Hughes was good against the Colts.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to have to be good in this game because that experience is going to have to play a big factor if they're going to pick up a win in Denver.
Yeah, Jerry was the only guy getting pressure. Jonathan Grenard claims, hey, we're going to be better.
Yeah.
They've got to do a better job. The problem is, you don't have Matt Ryan, the statue, back there.
That's right.
You know, and we can poke fun at Matt Ryan, but boy, he came up with some big plays.
He did,
might have just thrown a few darts and got things going. But Russell Wilson is a different guy. He's an RPO quarterback, but he runs around not to run forward so much. He runs to buy time, and that's what makes it so hard on the secondary. Okay, the latest line is 10 points. Denver favored by. What's your pick?
I think that's a fair line. I think for this game, two teams that were coming off of, mixed results in the first game. I think Denver wins. I would take Denver with the points. I think they're going to be over 10. I think the Texans struggle in this one.
I'm going to go Texans to beat the spread on the road.
Look at you making it dramatic.
You talk
I
about
like that.
Against all odds, this could be 31-24. I'm such an optimist. I can't believe how optimistic I am.
You are. You are.
Just,
your optimism is a fault.
my big concern is all the guys downplayed the altitude earlier this week.
Yeah.
Except off camera.
Yes.
Yeah, well, it really is a problem if you've ever played there.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, we talked about them running the ball, right? But running the ball helps, obviously, Davis Mills get the ball out a little quicker. Pass protection is going to be huge. I mean, in that fourth quarter, they could not stop the Colts pass rush. And I think you can argue that Denver's pass rush is a little bit better. The guys coming off the edge.
Chubb and company.
Yeah, so they're going to have a big problem with that. And so, maybe I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but putting in Jeff Driscoll at times to mix up the looks.
I like it.
He was active this past week. Lovey was saying, yeah, we don't know if he's going to be active or whatever, but that's a good option to have on the road against a team that's pretty charged up in that atmosphere to give a change of pace. So protect Davis Mills, run the football, and hopefully Russell Wilson makes some mistakes and the Texans might win. But I don't think they come out on top.
And here's the thing: I understand that traveling Texans are traveling en masse to Denver. They want to go see the mountains. They like to hang out.
It's a great trip. I love going to Denver.
City,
yeah,
no doubt about it. But of course, you can see all the action on KHOU 11.
Good segue.
Scheduled kick is 3:25, and of course, we'll be recapping everything after the game on Sports Extra. And you have a final comment?
No, I mean, I think I'm good.
Okay.
No.
We have
Thanks for putting me on the spot.
Yeah, Broncos and the points.
Yeah, Broncos
I'm saying
and the points.
The Texans will beat the spread. We'll find out. It'll be fun to watch. Sunday, 3:25 kick on KHOU. Thanks for joining us on KHOU 11+.